Hello everybody, round 7 in France. I'm in the Benetton, Chris is in the Pacific, and after Montreal, where my overtake was, let's say, questionable, the general consensus is that Chris won that race. So this one's all about redemption. 4 cars, 1 shot, let's go. Lights out, and it's a terrible start for me. Both Williams are straight past, 1 on each side, and I'm about to lose potentially 2 places off the line here. But I fight back, and I've kept Coulthard behind me, and now I'm going to chase downhill for the lead. And oh, what's that? That's Chris. He's in a spin in the background there. And there we go, just like that, I'm back in the lead, past Damon Hill, and I'm now charging down the straight towards the hairpin from a poor start, which is becoming a bit of a theme, isn't it, to leading again. We're all within the space of 1 corner. The 2 Williams now breaking hard into the hairpin just behind. And look at that, Chris has already recovered from the spin. The Pacific is still in this. And there's Chris now powering out of the hairpin, trying to make up for the lost ground. And now we switch back on board with me and Schumacher's car as we push hard up front. And let's take a quick look back at that spin from Chris at turn 1. Just a little slip, wheel off the track, and suddenly the Pacific's twirling around, just wheel slightly on the grass, and he's cut right across the track. But then he somehow managed to hook it up on the curb on the other side, and he keeps it going. Impressive recovery there. Back on board with me now, trying to stay calm and focused as I look to build the gap up front. Here's the key move on Hill, taking a tighter line on the corner exit while Damon goes wide, and I'm right back through to retake the lead. And there's Chris getting underneath Coulthard on the exit of the turn. He's gone through, and he's now coming right up behind Damon Hill, and he's going to get him into the next corner. That's 2 places in 1 straight. Chris really finding his way now, and suddenly that Pacific is up to second. What a great bit of driving there. And now the 2 Williams head into the pits under these wet conditions, switching tyres, which is a classic AI decision. It seems a bit strange given that me and Chris are still flying on slicks, and to be honest, the slick tyres and the online conditions, they didn't seem to make that much of a difference for me personally. But you know, it's really strange, and even stranger, the Williams have decided to double stack, and we've never seen that happen in the offline races that I've put up. Always 1 car stays out, but they're both double stacking here, so obviously on online multiplayer it seems anything can happen. And here is a little replay of Chris's spin. Now what happened, he puts the wheel on the grass, in fact gets the whole car on the grass, and he just loses traction, but then he does find it again, he recovers quickly. But yeah, that was a bit of a moment for Chris, and he's recovered very well since then. Right, now back with me, and we're about halfway through the race now, coming down the straight towards the Imola chicane, and into the Imola chicane I go, and all go very smoothly, but then has lost it, and this is not good. Am I going to be able to, come on, let's catch it, yes, I've got it back in time, and that was way too close for comfort. I could have lost the race there. Right, so check this out, Chris lining up Coulthard. Coulthard moves over on the racing line, Chris stays where he is and bolts straight down the inside. Fantastic driving, and then Damon Hill is there for the taking as well, and Chris through in the 2nd place. That was absolutely fantastic, serious driving, and Chris in the 2nd place in the Pacific. And here we go now into the final lap, leading the pack, and it was a battle for me early doors, but the Benetton is holding strong, the pace is good, Chris is trying his best to close in, he's pushing hard in that Pacific, but the difference to me now is going to be the Benetton, and it's all about, for me, just keeping cool, avoiding making any more mistakes like the one made at Imola, and there's 1 last lap to bring it home. But now on board with Chris, and look, you can see he is clearly wrestling with that Pacific on the exit of the corner, struggling to get onto the power. He said to me that I said I hope that handles a little bit better than the 40, and he said, well, it's about the same. He said it's a tough ride here, but look, Chris is doing his best, coming to the hairpin, and that is nice and smooth, and he certainly is making the most of what he's got here. And we're back on board with me now, coming through the hairpin, nice and smooth, and although maybe went a little bit wide on the entry, but getting it all tidy by the exit, and now coming back down towards the Imola chicane again, hoping this time for no little moments like we had last time, and it looks pretty smooth to me. Now coming to close out the victory in this French Grand Prix. So today I've had a sketchy spin, Chris has had a sketchy spin, and Williams have had sketchy strategy. So all in all, it's been a very sketchy race, but it's been, me and Chris have recovered quickly, and we're now going to finish 1 and 2. Come around the final turn in the Benetton, I come across the line, and it is victory number 6 out of 7 for me in this series I'm sure as Chris gets better cars, it'll get harder. I nearly didn't beat him in Montreal, but this has worked out quite nicely for me here today, and Chris comes through in the Pacific. That's a decent performance. Great recovery from his early issue with the spin, and Chris can be very, very happy with that performance overall. And here come the two Williams in third and fourth, a long way back. Their sketchy strategy certainly didn't help. Coulthard is going to try and move on Damon now, and let's hope they don't take each other off, because that would really cap off a Ferrari strategy type of weekend for them, wouldn't it? But yeah, Williams come through third and fourth place, and that is that for this Grand Prix. If you enjoyed that, please make sure to subscribe to both our channels. Links to Chris's in the pinned comment below. Thanks for watching.